Agatu is said to be the mysterious underground kingdom located in Asia and linked to the other continents of the world by a gigantic network of underground tunnels. Although some have been destroyed due to world cataclysms, many are still left today and are in use. The following are thought to be some of these entrances and tunnels. Afghanistan. According to British explorer T. Wilkins, the Mongolian tribes of Inner Mongolia believe that there are entrances to a great tunnel system that leads to a subterranean world of antediluvian somewhere in a recess of Afghanistan. New Manhattan, New York. An entrance to the inner earth tunnels is thought to be reached through an abandoned elevator shaft in Manhattan, New York. Only a few know where the exact location is, and I am not one of them. Canada. Another entrance is found in the Nahanni Valley, but many of those that have dared to enter this area have been found decapitated, thus giving the region its name, the Valley of the Headless Men. The Nahanni Valley in Canada is the land of the Ojibways, the Slave, Dogribs, Stoney, the Beavers and the Chippewyans. It covers 250 square miles in the southern end of the Mackenzie Mountains of Canada and lies almost 550 miles due west of Fort Simpson on the Mackenzie River of northwest Canada. Hot springs and sulfur geysers keep the valley warmer than the surrounding areas by about 30 degrees year-round. This land of perpetual mist is viewed by the Indians as a taboo and avoided. Arkansas. In northern Arkansas, a 12-man speleological team broke into an ancient tunnel system, encountering inhabitants of the inner world. Just north of Batesville, explorers found a tunnel illuminated by a greenish phosphorescence where they met a race of beings who stood 7 to 8 feet tall and had bluish skin. The beings, who have advanced technology, told the explorers they are the direct descendants of Noah. The Cherokee Indians also tell of this same race of blue men. According to the Cherokee, they inhabited the areas of Kentucky as well. When the Cherokee came into that area, they killed these blue-skinned men off. Apparently the Cherokee were wrong in their assumptions. California. Southwestern California holds the legend of Crystal Cave, a large cavern that links to OOWK Peak. It was reportedly found by Earl Dorr, a miner and prospector who followed clues given to him by Indians. Dorr entered Crystal Cave in the 30s and followed a passage down into OOWK Mountain for about a mile. Here he entered a large cavern that he explored for a distance of 8 miles. Flowing at the base of the cavern was a river, and its banks were rich with deposits of gold. For reasons only known to Dorr, he dynamited the entrance. The exact location of this sealed entrance is unknown today. The Liaba Cave. The Liaba Cave is located in the province of Zapotka, somewhere near the ancient village of Mictlan, the village of the underworld. The village of Liaba, translated, means the Cavern of Death. The Cavern of Death was located in the last chamber of an 8-chamber building or temple. This temple had 4 rooms above the ground and 4 more important chambers built below the surface of the earth. This building was located in Theozapotlan, and the tunnel entrance leads beneath the mountain. Catholic priests in an earlier period of time descended into the caves with lit torches. They discovered what seemed to be an endless passageway with bones strewn before them from others that had come before them. As they advanced into the mountain, they were assailed with the smell of putrid air and snakes. As they continued forth, a strong cold wind blew their torches out, leaving them in the dark and causing them to take flight hurriedly back out of the cave. In retreating from the cave, the priest claimed they heard ghastly noises coming from within. When they managed to finally exit, the priest declared the cave home of devils and ordered the entrance be forever sealed. The Maltese Cave. This entrance, known as Hypogeum of Halsaflenti, is located on the island of Malta, near the village of Castle Paula, which overlooks the town of Malta. In 1902, workmen digging a well in Castle Paula reportedly fell into a subterranean cavern which connected to an entire complex of caves and tunnels. This discovery led to be a complex of cave, 3 of which were a series of chambers excavated out of solid rock on 3 even lower levels for each chamber. This series of underground rooms, when first explored, they found over 30,000 skeletons of men, women and children inside. The tunnels under the hypogeum were later sealed off after 30 students entered the caves on a field trip and disappeared without a trace. The numerous efforts of search parties looking for the children and guide were in vain. The Staffordshire, England. Somewhere in Staffordshire, England, a field exists where a man, while digging a trench, discovered a large iron plate beneath the dirt. The hatch was large and oval, with an iron ring mounted on it. This hatch covered an entrance leading into underground tunnels. The only clue we have to its location is that the field is in a valley surrounded by woods and that a report of its discovery can be found in A History of Staffordshire by Dr. Plott, who wrote the book in the late 1700s. The Dulles, New Mexico base. An underground military base, laboratory in Dulles, New Mexico connects with the underground network of tunnels which honeycombs our planet, and the lower levels of this base are allegedly under the control of inner Earth beings or aliens. This base is connected to Los Alamos research facilities via an underground tube shuttle beginning in 1947. A road was built near the Dulles base, under the cover of a lumber company. The odd thing is, according to sources, no lumber was ever hauled, and the road was later destroyed. Navajo Dam is the Dulles base's main source of power, though a second source is in El Vado, which is also another entrance. This information should help you locate the underground complex, if of course you feel brave enough to venture onto the Dulles properties. Most of the lakes near Dulles were made via government grants for the Indians. The September 1983 issue of Omni, page 80, has a color drawing of the Subterrane, the Los Alamos nuclear-powered tunnel machine that burrows through the rock, deep underground, by heating whatever stone it encounters into molten rock, which cools after the subterrane has moved on. The result is a tunnel with a smooth, glazing lining. Although evidence has been found of this machine, there is no signs of molten rock and the concept ceased being used after 1983. There are over 100 secret exits near and around Dulles. Many around Archuleta Mesa, others to the source around Dulles Lake and even as far east as Lindrich. Deep sections of the complex connect into natural cavern systems. Note: the elevators, lights, and doors at Dulles base are all magnetically controlled. The area around Dulles has had a high number of reported animal mutilations. The researchers at Dulles base have also abducted several people from Dulles's civilian population and implanted devices of various types in their heads and bodies. Note: Livermore Berkeley Labs began producing blood for the Dulles base in the mid-1980s, and human and animal have now slowed considerably. If interested, it may be worthwhile to check out Livermore Berkeley Labs. Delta Group, from the National Recon Group, is responsible for security of all alien-connected projects. The Delta symbol is a black triangle on a red background. Dulles base's symbol is a delta triangle, with the Greek letter tau, T, within it, and then the entire symbol is inverted, so the triangle points down, and the tau is also inverted. A very active UFO base exists beneath Mount Rainier. There are also said to be underground vaults containing records of the ancient Lemurians. The ice cap of Mount Rainier contains a maze of corridors and caves. In August of 1970, scientists climbed to the top of Mount Rainier and entered these caverns and tunnels. Evidence was found indicating that a small lake exists deep beneath the ice cap. It is possible that one could find a way to get beneath Mount Rainier through these tunnels. The Mount Lassen. Mount Lassen, Tehama County, California, is an entrance leading to a large underground city. Near the foot of Mount Lassen is a town called Manton. Ralph Fields, Manton, found this entrance and claims that it is in the side of the mountain, a little over 7,000 feet above sea level, and is near a rock outcropping. Death Valley, California. This entrance is supported by the local Indian legend which speaks of a tunnel that runs beneath Death Valley Desert and the people that used to live in the Panamint caverns. The entrance is in the Panamint Mountains down on the lower edge of the range near Wingate Pass, in the bottom of an old abandoned shaft. These tunnels connect with the surface also through arched windows in the side of the mountain that look down on Death Valley. During ancient times, these windows were accessible by boat. The windows in the Death Valley side of the Panamint Mountains are about 4,505,000 feet above the bottom of Death Valley, and are across from Furnace Creek Ranch. From these openings you can see the green of the ranch below you and Furnace Creek wash across the valley. So, with high-powered binoculars or a telescope, you should be able to see the openings from the Furnace Creek Ranch, or Washington. You can drive down Emigrant Canyon towards Death Valley. You can then park beside the road between Furnace Creek Ranch and the salt bed. From here, the windows should be visible through binoculars. The Brown Mountain Entrance. Brown Mountain is in North Carolina near Morganton. Morganton is about 15 miles north of an actual highway marker which has been posted by the state providing any visitor the best view of Brown Mountain. Brown Mountain is an area in which many strange lights have been seen. Canadian UFO bases and the Great Lakes Triangle. Entrances at Lake Ontario may lead to underwater cities. The Toronto tunnels lead to a subterranean city and Lake Ontario. Lights orange-colored spheres have been seen coming out of and diving into Lake Ontario. The area of highest activity is between Oakville and Toronto. There may be a connection to the Lakeview hydroelectric plant, as many of these UFOs have been seen heading in that direction. Toronto entrance. There is a small opening to the underground tunnels off Parliament Street in downtown Toronto. The entrance is between two apartment buildings, and leads to the tunnels via the sewers. The underground city beneath Toronto has its center beneath Gerrard Street and Church Street. Above this area, strange magnetic effects have been observed. It has been noted that this corner of Gerrard and Church Streets seems to have a higher accident rate than anywhere else in Toronto. It is also believed that underground equipment utilizing powerful magnetic fields are responsible for the bizarre equipment failures that often are the cause of these accidents. These tunnels are known by the local Indians and can be found in their legends. After an iron mine, in Newfoundland province, had been dug deeper than any other, strange things began occurring and the mine had to be shut down. It is now condemned and off-limits which the police strictly enforce. The mining town is located near the Newfoundland-Quebec border. Sneaking in late at night seems to be the only way to gain entrance. Brazil. You can find one tunnel in Brazil near Ponte Grosso in the state of Paraná. Another entrance is near Rincon, also in the state of Paraná. In the state of Santa Catarina, near the city of Joinville, is a mountain that has an entrance to the tunnels. The Santa Catarina is an area alive with noises coming from underground. There are reports that in Santa Catarina subterranean fruit orchards can be found. There is also another entrance found in the state of São Paulo near Concepción. The local legend is that the states or Santa Catarina and Paraná are honeycombed by a net of Atlantean tunnels that lead to subterranean cities. Kentucky Mammoth Cave, in south-central Kentucky. Mount Shasta, California, USA. The Agarthian city of Tlos allegedly exists within and beneath this mountain. Hopi legends say that this mountain is one of the 13 homes of the lizard people, reptoids. Native American Indian tribes of California claim that Mount Shasta is the inner mountain dwelling place of an invisible race of men. Still more accounts describe the mountain as an inlet to the ancient Lemurian world and that the Lemurian survivors still live today in the tunnels of dead volcanoes. Some suggest that it is a meeting place for the Lothinian Brotherhood, who use a stanch force, vis mortuus, to carve caverns out of solid rock, which sounds very similar to the equipment used at Dulce, New Mexico. In 1904, J.C. Brown, an explorer for a British mining company, reported that he had discovered a caved-in hollow in the side of the mountain complete with one skeleton and hieroglyphic writings on the walls. Brown later quit his job and settled in Stockton, where he lived out his life selling gold trinkets that he claimed to have in the Mount Shasta cave. In 1934, Abraham Mansfield said he encountered a tribe of Lemurians, who had dug tunnels connecting Mount Shasta and the Bluff Creek area. A man from San Jose, while hiking on the southern slope, in 1972, came across what he described as a reptilian humanoid. Other visitors to the mountain have reported seeing various subhuman cultures including dwarfs, Bigfoot or Yeti-type creatures and giants dressed in white robes. On August 16, 1987, believing the mountain to be one of the 7 major planetary chakras of spiritual tuning forks, thousands came together as part of an international harmonic convergence, designed to bring peace to the whole world. White Sands Missile Base, rumored to have an underground complex and tunnels, is in the area around the White Sands Missile Range in New Mexico. This area is reported to have been the secret headquarters of the great Apache chief Victorio and is named after him, Victoria Peak. From what I understand, the army bulldozed the peak out and placed a steel door over the entrance to the mountain passageways. I don't yet know if this was to keep people from going inside or if it was to keep someone or something inside from coming out. Maybe it was a little of both. Hardscrabble and Geronimo Peak are also honeycombed with tunnels, caves and secret entrances. The Hardscrabble entrance leads down a flight of steps to an underground river. Manaus, Brazil. Mato Grosso, Brazil. Beneath its plain lies the city of Bozid. Iguaú section A superscripto Falls, border Brazil and Argentina. Mount Ipomeo, Italy. Himalayan mountains, Tibet. The entrance to the underground city of Shanch is guarded by the Hindu monks. Mongolia. The underground city of Xinhua exists beneath the borders of Mongolia and China. Rama, India. Beneath this surface city lies Rama, a long-lost subterranean city. Benares, India. While the entrance to Bhagavati is somewhere in the Himalayas, it has been asserted that Patala can be entered through the well of Sheshna in Benares, India. According to herpetologist and author Sherman A. Minton, as stated in his book Venomous Reptiles, this entrance is very real, with 40 steps which descend into a circular depression, to terminate at a closed stone door which is covered in bas-relief cobras. Tibet. There is a major mystical shrine also called Patala. Hidden under the shrine is an ancient cavern and tunnel system, which reaches throughout the Asian continent and possibly beyond. Pyramid of Giza, Egypt. King Solomon's Mines. Duro Caves. Superstition Mountains, Arizona. Another area to be investigated is the Superstition Mountains in Arizona. Geronimo would be seen walking into the face of the mountain, disappearing and then reappearing in New Mexico. The soldiers, which were hell-bent on capturing the elusive Apache chief, were mystified as to how he was able to escape the human net surrounding him and his band. The tunnel systems of the superstitions are dangerous though and are rumored to be inhabited by reptilian-type creatures and supernatural forces. Those that claim to have penetrated the tunnel tell of the remains of ancient structures and a spiral staircase that leads forever down into the bowels of Earth. The main entrance to the superstition tunnel system links to numerous tunnel passageways which spiderweb out as far as Central America. Four corners in southwestern USA. North and South Poles. Glastonbury, Britain. Known for centuries as Avalon, Glastonbury is legended to have an entrance to Arn, the British, Welsh name for the underworld. Turkey. In Turkey, the discovery of a massive underground city at Derinka revealed a stunning complexity of deep passageways constructed on at least 10 separate levels. Some estimates believe there was adequate living space for at least 20,000 people. Precisely what purpose this city served or when it was constructed is hard to determine.